Hello friend, my name is Doombabetalks and these glasses are not anti-glare like the doctor said they were. Anyways, today we're talking about Love, Chunibyo and Other Delusions, which is the English translation for a really long Japanese name that I'm just not going to try to pronounce. It's a 12-episode slice of life slash sorta kinda supernatural that was released in 2012 and created by Kyoto Animation. It tells the story of Yuuta Togashi, a high schooler that is trying to forget about his past self. Why? Because he is a Chunibyo, or a super mega ultra otaku that is rightfully shameful of his past ways. However, he comes across a girl named Rika Takanashi who has been a Chunibyo since elementary school. She latches onto him like a leech, and the pair embark on an emotional journey that is primarily composed of delusion-influenced shenanigans. This is basically a story about people who get way too enveloped in their fantasy world, and I was crying because I knew people like this. I mean, obviously Chunibyos who, I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, but they're obviously, exaggerations. But those like super mega weebs that you went to middle school and probably your early years of high school with that just were way too into anime and video games? That's what Chunibyos are. But what was really interesting was how the story gave us perspective from both sides. Like, we get to see the really awkward and borderline painful side of Rika's tangents through Yuta's eyes, who really just kind of sees her as being kind of crazy and really good at LARPing. But we also get to see those same scenes through the eyes of Rika, and we get to see what's going on through her head. I just thought it was really intriguing that a story would provide both sides of the story, and I felt like it added an extra layer of dimension to the story. I also have a huge amount of praise for how the creators decided to approach the emotional aspects of the story. There was a lot of time given to the viewer to get to know these characters and watch them grow and develop together before pushing the feels of romance. And even then, they took baby steps that really built up to the emotional finale, which I am man enough to say that I was not attacked by onion ninjas. I cried my eyes out. But I do have a massive problem with the way that the story ended, and that was how at the very end Yuta decided to start sort of like encouraging Rika's fantasies. Especially right after encouraging her to move on. I mean, I get that she was sad and she was having trouble distancing herself from her fantasy persona, but I mean, if a heroin addict is going through withdrawals, you don't give him more heroin to make him feel better and then expect it to help him. I feel like all of the progress and a lot of the character development had just kind of been obliterated right then and there. Then I watched season 2, and look, if we're totally honest, if you liked the way that season 1 ended, you just kind of need to leave it there, because it was sort of like they got to the high point, and after that there was just, they could only go down, and that's what happened. The season 2 just was not up to par at all. It was just nowhere near as good, and it kind of felt like it just turned into a really cheesy harem. This anime looks so effing good! Hey, ombre hair coloring. If you watched my review on the patisserie anime series, which I honestly forgot the name of it, you know that I am a huge sucker for ombre hair coloring. There's just something about it that just really appeals to me in so many ways, which is kind of ironic because I don't like ombre hair colors in real life. B. The shadows and shading applied to the characters are so totally on point, and it gives the viewer proper depth perception that it is only complemented by the style of the world that they're put in, which is beautiful and colorful and perfectly complements the character designs. And of course, I was totally in love with the eye designs, which were bright and vibrant and really round. Let's talk about the animation, which was nothing short of stunning. It was smooth and fluid, and the characters' movements never felt awkward or stiff or jerky. The team that was in charge of Chunibyo was totally, absolutely on their A-game, and I really hope that they were paid well for this job, because this kind of work deserves to be rewarded. Though they probably weren't paid all that well, because apparently the anime industry kind of pays shit. So, all in all, in the end, I absolutely loved Chunibyo. The story was beautiful, it featured a ton of development, and the animation was nothing short of stellar, and it featured a wonderful soundtrack that really brought it all together. Sure, I have some complaints with how the story ended, but that in no way ruined the overall journey. Like, I don't think an ending can tarnish the actual experience of watching a series. I would definitely suggest for someone to look this up if they're interested in quirky slice of lives. I would even suggest for someone to look this up and watch it even if they weren't really into slice of lives, because this isn't the typical story that you would find in the genre. This was a very unique story, and I feel like I've actually never seen anything like this before. Anyways, those are my thoughts on Chunibyo something something delusions. I'm sorry, I don't remember the title. Have you seen it? If you have, what would you call yourself if you were Chunibyo, and what would your powers be? Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, you can find all of my social media as well as my Patreon in the description. Happy on birthday, and I will see you later. Bye!